What do you do when the sun stops shining? What do you do when the only light in your life is the eerie glow of an aurora that shimmers in the starless night sky? What do you do when the snow falls and blankets the frozen ground, burying the last of the berries and nuts the forest folk have depended on for the season? Do you fight nature's will with stubborn determination, or do you surrender to the inevitable, surrender to the call of the wild and turn on each other? In the frozen wilderness of North America, when the nights stretched longer than the days and snow buried the world in silence, the Algonquin tribes warned of a creature born of hunger and greed. They said it was once a man, a mighty hunter named Gishinaku. He had led his tribe through many successful hunts, bringing home the meat of deer, moose, and bear. But winter had been cruel that year and game was scarce. The tribe's food stores were dwindling and starvation loomed. One night, while the adults huddled around a dying fire, trying to keep warm and devising hunting strategies, they heard screams in the forest. Big guttural screams that chilled them to the bone. Gishinaku, the bravest of them all, grabbed his spear and ventured out into the dark to investigate. Through the trees, he saw a horrible sight. A monstrous creature was tearing apart a deer, ripping it limb from limb. Startled, he backed away and tripped on a root. The creature turned, and though it was dark, Gishinaku could see its eyes glowing like hot coals in the gloom. The beast let out another deafening roar and charged. Gishinaku ran, crashing through the underbrush. The sound of the creature's heavy footsteps closed behind him. He stumbled and fell again, and this time he did not run. Instead, he drew his knife and slashed at the beast's face. The creature howled in pain and backed off. It was hideous, gaunt, skeletal, its skin stretched tight over its bones. Its eyes glowed with a cold, endless hunger, and its breath froze the air around it. But what shocked Gishinaku most was the creature's heart, which seemed to beat with a cold blue light. It was made of ice. Then the creature did something that made Gishinaku's blood run cold. It stood on two legs, revealing a horrifyingly twisted face with sharp teeth and claws. And then it spoke in a voice like grinding stones. "You are the intruder here," it rasped. "This is my hunt." Before Gishinaku could reply, the creature lunged, knocking the knife out of his hand. It moved with astonishing speed, snatching Gishinaku's throat and lifting him off the ground. Gishinaku struggled, clawing at the beast's face, but its skin was as hard as leather. With a final mighty shake, the beast flung him away. Gishinaku lay on the ground, his throat torn open, his life essence draining away. The last thing he saw was the creature standing over him, lapping up the blood that spilled from his wound. Then everything went black. Back at the camp, the tribe found Gishinaku's mutilated body and realized with horror that they would soon face starvation. One by one, they succumbed to the relentless hunger. But there was one among them who watched his people die without a single sound escaping his lips. His name was Saga, and he was Gishinaku's younger brother. Filled with grief and a burning desire for revenge, he waited patiently. And when the full moon bathed the forest in silver light, he set out to find the monster. He followed the tracks left by the creature to a cave hidden between rocky cliffs, and there he waited. As the first rays of sunlight touched the snow, the monster emerged from the cave. Seated on a nearby rock, Saga poured a little water from his canteen on the ground in front of him. The monster, seeing the offering, approached cautiously, lapped up the water and roared in delight. It was so powerful that rocks tumbled down from the cliffs. Seated calmly, Saga poured more water on the ground and the monster drank again and again. Each time it returned, the beast grew larger, its eyes blazing brighter and brighter. Finally, Saga stood up and beckoned with his finger. The monster, understanding his signs, followed him deep into the forest. They walked for hours until they came to a clearing. There, hidden in the bushes, were the bodies of Saga's tribe, their bodies intact, untouched by animals. He motioned for the monster to wait and crept closer. Suddenly, one of the dead stirred. It was Saga's sister. With a joyful cry, he rushed to her side and began performing mouth-to-nose resuscitation. She spit out a mouthful of snow and coughed, weakly sat up. Seeing this, the other tribe members also stirred, and soon they were all kneeling before the monster. Saga explained what he had done and asked the monster to do it again. The monster roared in delight and plunged its icy heart into the nearest victim. The transfer of the creature's unnatural cold caused all of Saga's tribe members to immediately reenact the scene, killing each other. The monster watched in amusement, occasionally joining in. Together, they feasted on human flesh until they were too full to eat anymore. From that day on, the tribes in the northern forests kept watch for signs of the Wendigo, the creature with a heart of ice, whose hunger could never be satiated. For it was nothing less than the embodiment of insatiable greed and gluttony. They told stories around the fire of the awful fate that befell the tribe of Gishinaku, a cautionary tale to remind them that the forest held dangers far more terrifying than any beast. For the Wendigo was not just a creature, it was hunger without end, a spirit that lived inside men, waiting for the cold, the famine, and the darkness to claim them.